Hi, everyone. Hope you guys are doing very well. My name is Patty, Patty's life coach. Today, I have special guest. This is my second podcast, and basically today I have very special guest. So today's topic is going to be blending families. Yay! You guys like blending families?
Yeah.
Perfect. So I have two wonderful children. I have Julian, which he's 10 years old, and I have Ariana that she's 8 years old. So today's podcast is going to be more to know how they get along, especially that they are step siblings. Now, during these days, you know that it's very common that a lot of partners actually get together with other partners, right? So with this divorced couples and just make it like they become a family. So in this case, I have these two little guests. Welcome. How are you guys feeling today?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Perfect. So what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be giving them some questions, kind of get to know them a little bit more. I've always been wondering, like, what is it that they go through their mind, especially when it comes that now they got to get along, now that they're together, now that they live in the same household. How does that work? It's very interesting to understand what they think, how they feel, what they like, what they don't like, living together. So that's the whole purpose of this podcast. And I'm so excited because I have two beautiful, wonderful children that they're pretty smart. They're very smart and they're very honest, very bold. And so just to move a little bit forward, I'm going to start introducing them. I'm going to be asking them some questions and just have fun. We're just going to have fun and get to know them a little bit more. And I'm very excited. So thank you so much for being here, Ariana and Julian. So I'm going to start off by asking Ariana. I want you to say a little bit about yourself in the sense that, once again, your name, your age, and I would like for you to tell me one of the things that you like. Okay, for example, what is one of the things that you like to do? All right. And then you can go ahead and hand it to Julian, and then he'll share the same thing. So you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
My name is Ariana. I'm 8 years old and I'm in third grade. And I'm gonna be telling you guys about my life.
You want to tell us about your life? Okay. And what is it that you like most about your life?
That I have a family, food, and a school to learn and make friends. And I like spending time with my family. It means a lot to me, and yeah.
Great. Well, welcome, Mariana, today in today's podcast. And let's go ahead and hear from Julian. Julian, okay, you want to introduce yourself by your name, age, and what is it that you like?
Hello, I am Julian and I'm 10 years old and I'm in the 5th grade. And the things I like are cars and having fun.
Ah, great. What kind of fun do you like?
I like spending time with my family. It's
Okay.
really fun, and my friends.
Great. So we have Julian, who's 10 years old, and we have Ariana, that it's 8 years old, right? So you're in 5th grade and you're in third grade. So, Julian, let me ask you a question since we want to know more about you. So, we know that you're in a blended family, right? Blended family to me is like you are actually, you're living with your dad, and then you live with your mom, right? But then you share the household with your stepmom, right? So I just want to know a little bit, how does that make you feel? Are you happy? What is the best parts that you like about having now two, actually four parents? Because now you have your dad, you have your mom, you have your stepmom, right? So it's actually three parents, right? I'm saying four. Oh my God. Okay. Go ahead. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, sometimes it's tiring driving from different places, like going back and forth from my mom's to my dad's. But probably the best thing I like It's kind of having 2 birthdays technically.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, from one in each family. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Well, let's hear from Ariana. So in this case, let me just kind of go over a little bit, right? So now that you actually have three parents, right? Here I'm saying four, but technically there are four, right? Four, right? Okay. Excuse me. I mean, I actually, and obviously it's something new to me, just for the fact that I don't know how many parents we have now these days. But let's go back to Ariana. So please go ahead and share with me, um, how do you feel having now four parents, right? It's four parents. How do you make how does it make you feel, and what is it that you like most, and what is it that probably you don't like about it?
Okay, what I like about having four parents is that I like hanging out with my dad because he plays with me and it's very fun and we watch movies. And what I like about my mom's side is that she's really fun. She takes me places and I like hanging with my both of my families because I love them both.
Okay, great. All right. So now let's go to that question, Ariana. What is it that you don't like?
Well, I don't like when when we have to like when my mom tells me to go take out the trash,
Okay.
but like it's hard to take it out because it's like always stuck and it's hard for me to struggle and take it out.
Mm.
So I always have Julian to help me take out stuff and he's really nice and he helps me.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
like that.
So apparently you guys have a very good relationship, being step siblings. Okay, just because you mentioned about that, what you like about Julian, okay, which is great. And so, how when you guys are together in the same household, what would be from 100%? What would be the percentage in which you guys get along? Would it be 50%, 60%, 80%, or all the time? Do you guys have arguments? What would be the percentage? Or if you don't want to call it percentage, let's say about out of a 10. So that would be simple. So out of a 10, how much do you guys get along out of a 10?
Well, we sometimes we get along and sometimes we have little issues, but we start getting along and having fun. So I'll probably say um probably like a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10?
Yeah.
Okay, pretty fair. Let's go ahead and hear from Julian. Okay, Julian. So in this case, we would like to hear from Julian as to, the same question, out of being in the same household, right? Because you guys do share a household at times, yeah, either weekends or during the week, right? Like you said, that one of the things that you don't enjoy is the fact that you have to be traveling, going back and forth. But now talking a little bit of you guys, being as step siblings, my question would be to you, out of a 10, how, out of a 10, how many, what would be the number that you guys get along, and why?
Well, I would say our relationship of being siblings is maybe like an 8.5. Like we sometimes have problems, but we always fix the problems afterwards. Yeah, and we just have fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So out of a 10, how much would that be? Like, yeah, you get along?
Yeah, like 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Pretty much. So let me ask you, we're going to now talk a little bit more about school, because I always wanted to know more about school. I went to school many years ago. So as you know, back in the days, it was totally different. I'm still young, by the way. I'm still young. Okay. Just an FYI, I'm still young. But, it has been many, many years. I do remember I do remember that when I actually started school, I did go to kindergarten, believe it or not. And it was nice. I remember playing in the sand, and there was like, and they will always make me take a nap when I was in kindergarten, right? So I'm always been curious as to during this time now in 2024, how is it in a day in school? So, first of all, I know that you're in fifth grade. So, I would like to know what is a regular day in fifth grade. If you could just kind of share a little bit or share how does it go when it goes to your day? What is it that you do? What kind of foods do you eat? What is it that you do? Just so that way I can understand now as to how everything flows within school. Go ahead.
So basically, how we start the day off, sort of, is like we do morning meetings.
Really
Yeah,
interesting. Okay.
and like then after that, we like share good things, and then we get breakfast. After we eat breakfast, usually most of the time, since it's state testing time, we do have to do the state test.
Oh,
afterwards. Yeah,
very interesting. Okay.
yeah, and then afterwards, sometimes we go to recess. Sometimes
Okay.
we go at the end of the day. And then after recess, we go to lunch. And then we kind of sometimes have good foods, but we also have bad foods.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Mhm.
Okay.
And then there's lunch and recess where me and my friends play soccer.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Similar to when I used to go to school, same activities, right?
Yeah.
Is there something that you don't like about school?
Yeah, sometimes there could be problems here and there. Like sometimes there's certain teachers that you might not like, you know.
Okay, interesting. All right.
Mhm.
And if you were to say out of 10,
Yeah.
how much do you like school? Out of a 10, what would be your score?
I'd probably say like a 6.
6.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Why would you think that? Why 6 instead of a 10?
Well, sometimes students do have problems. There has been fights there, unfortunately.
Mm,
Yeah, and sometimes students could be a little bit harsh.
really?
Mhm.
Like the bullying per se?
Yeah,
Yeah. Do you see that often or no?
yeah.
You do.
Mhm.
Wow, that's pretty sad, right? Do the teachers do something about it or?
Well, most of the time it doesn't get dealt with because it's not like there's not enough proof.
Mm,
Yeah.
wow. Do you think that when someone gets bullied, they're scared to come forward?
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
scary.
Really?
Mhm.
That's too bad. I don't want to give you this personal question, but I don't know if you would like to share. Have you ever gone through that?
No,
No?
not at all.
Okay. Now, let me ask you the last question before we move to Ariana. If you ever were to get bullied, would you feel comfortable enough to come forward and say, hey, this is happening to me? Or you would just kind of try to avoid it? Or what would be your reaction on that? Being a fifth grade um, student and being in school.
Well, I would probably tell my parents first and not like the school because like the school will do like an announcement and like
Yes.
the speakers and they would say like what happened
Okay.
and it's like kind of a bad thing,
Yeah.
because then you get called out. Yeah.
Hmm. That's too bad, right? It's very unfortunate that we still are facing a lot, bullying. I don't recall that happening too much when I was a kid, but once again, many years ago, but I'm still young. Just want to clarify that. So thank you so much for sharing. Let's move on with Ariana. And if you're able to share also something similar to what I've been asking Julian regarding school, what is it that you like about school? And just before you tell me what you like about school, can you give me a little bit like a rundown of what you do on your daily basis as a third grader? Because I'm always been curious. I can tell you, I still remember when I was in third grade, and I used to love it. I still even remember the name of my teacher. So that's so cool. I mean, but now do tell me, how do you?
Um. So. Um.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay, so let me kind of go back a little bit and let me repeat the question so you can pretty
Yeah.
much feel more comfortable in
Yeah.
answering it. It's normal. I mean, this is pretty much almost live. Okay, so this is not something that we have been rehearsing. This is something very real.
It's like our first time, and we don't know.
And exactly, they say it's the first time that they're being interviewed. So of course, this is very new and especially for me. But I think at the end of the day, having these type of videos, I'm sure that there's a lot of parents that are out there that they actually have children that probably they're at the same age, and then they are also sharing like households. They are also being step siblings, right? And these are things that I as a parent would always wanted to know. Sometimes our children don't even feel comfortable coming forward to us directly, but instead they feel more comfortable sharing it with someone else. So in this case, I feel so proud of these two young children that they say, yeah, we are going to go ahead and do this podcast. So I'm so happy, and I'm very privileged to have this wonderful children here. So just going back a little bit to what I was asking Ariana. So Ariana, my question, like I had shared to Julian, is what is it from out of a 10? How much would you say that you like school, first of all?
So out of a 10, like how I like school, I'll probably say a 7 or an 8 because I get to hang out with my friends. Mostly my best friend named Dahlia. She's a cool friend.
Okay.
And yeah, and I like spending time. Yeah.
Ah, great. Okay. And so now that you've shared me that it's about 7.5, right? Or an 8. Did you say 7.5 or 8?
It was a 7 or 8.
Okay, perfect. So now if you could share with me a little bit of what a third grader does on a normal day in school.
So what we do on a normal day in school in third grade. So basically, when we start off, when we get there, we go on our Chromebooks. There's like this little app called Zern where it has like math kind of, and it teaches you. And we do that in the morning, and we have breakfast. And after that, we throw our food away, our breakfast away. Then we do some math, and then
Awesome.
we get to other stuff too. And we go to recess, and we have a good time, and we just go to lunch.
Very good. So out of all the day, what is it that you don't like about school?
So what I don't like is that people have problems, they start fights, and I don't like when people get hurt because that makes me kind of scared, kind of like weird, because I like helping people whenever they're hurt because we need to help them whenever they're hurt, and it's kind of awesome to help people because we have to thank them because whenever I get hurt, they help me and they do everything. So I want to thank them back, and yeah.
Ah, great. So you like to. So what I hear is that you don't like people to get hurt. So that's why you don't like. You don't like when you see fights.
Yeah, I
right?
don't like having fights too. It's just how I get in problems.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So a question. So being in third grade, do you see a lot of fights in school, or how do you see like third graders fighting, or do you see um, different older kids fighting?
Well, I see sometimes kids fighting, and I ask them what happened to see what's going on, so I can go straight and tell.
Yeah.
Cause that's a bad thing when people fight. And if I got in a fight, I'll tell my parents, and they'll probably go talk to my teacher about it. And I was kind of almost bullied, so I told my parents about it. And then if the bully says it again, like something else,
Yes.
My dad will go to my school, and they'll talk to my teacher about her. Yeah.
So it's okay if you don't want to say or share, but have you ever felt like you've been bullied?
Well, I feel like, but it's kind of going good in school. It's just I don't feel comfortable when I have fights. Just I want to have a good day and just focus on myself.
I see. Well, you know what? I really appreciate that you guys are being very honest and you guys are sharing. I know that in the beginning you mentioned that you were a little bit nervous, right? Because this is your first podcast, and obviously I'm new by myself too. But at the end of the day, I think that having these type of conversations and having you guys being very brave and being able to accept this invitation, it has really, I'm sure that it has helped a lot of, listeners that eventually one day they might come to, look at this video, and then they'll see that not only adults have challenges in life. There's always, like, you guys are growing up. Do you guys know that you guys are the future of this world?
Yeah.
You don't? Do you know that you're the future?
Kind of a little bit.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and ask Julian, if you don't mind. So you don't believe that you are the future of the world?
Well, I wouldn't say that. It's just like you can never predict the future. Like you never know what's gonna happen next.
Absolutely. You are very 100%. You know that one of the things that I've been actually been kind of working on is living one at a time, because that's all we have, right? So, but in the sense of when I talk about you guys being the future of the world, that means, like, for instance, myself, I'm already probably getting to a point where I'm going to be like slowing down, and I'm not going to be that future, right? Somehow the younger generations are going to be able to replace me. So you guys being alive and having a future ahead, this is your opportunity for you guys to actually conquer the world, right? So one of the things that I would always, suggest is for you guys to always think and know that whatever you guys decide to do in this world, you're going to make it happen. Right? So just moving a little bit forward, and before we end up this podcast, because like I had mentioned earlier, and obviously not earlier, but in the beginnings of my podcast, that I wasn't going to put them lengthy, but I'm still going to having more guests later on, and I'm sure that they're going to come back, right? You guys would like to come back and share other things. You like it?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. But anyways, just going a little bit, back. One question. So you are already in fifth grade, right? My question would be is, what would you like to be when you grow older?
Well, personally, I would want to be either a professional drifter or a professional rally racer.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's great. Yeah. So you're really excited and you like a lot of excitement, right? Awesome. And how would that make you feel if once you become what you want to accomplish? You think that would make you happy? And
Yeah.
great. Well, you know what? You're going to be definitely one of the best. I can assure you, right? Right? We know that Julian is going to be one of the best of whatever he decides. Okay, so let's ask Ariana. So Ariana,
Mhm.
so what would you like to be when you grow older?
Probably like a teacher because I want to teach kids and I want to learn like stuff to them that they don't learn, like they don't know yet, and I want to be a teacher because it sounds kind of fun to me,
Okay,
and yeah.
great. And guess what? You're going to be one of the best teachers. So one of the things that I want to leave you with before ending this podcast, when I say that you guys are the future, you guys are the future. Okay, we know that we only live one at a time. We know that we don't know what's going to happen in the future, correct?
Yeah.
But just you knowing at this time that we're still here, sitting down in these chairs, having a very good chat, you guys are going to be able to accomplish anything that you want. So before we end up this podcast, can we do like a pinky promise?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So we're going to be doing a pinky promise before we end this podcast. And the pinky promise, and just keep the microphone so you can have it there. The pinky promise is going to be that you're never going to give up. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So pinky promise. Do your pinky promise. Join. And what is it going to say? Never going to give up. Where you say 1, 2, 3, never give up. There you go. Well, thank you so much for joining this small, short podcast. It was a pleasure being here with you guys. And I'll see you on the next one. So thank you, Julian. Thank you, Ariana. And God bless you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.